George W. Bush will soon be unveiling the George W. Bush Presidential Center, including his library. Insert Bush library joke here. All right, well, Dallas Morning News talked to him, and he explained, his presidency and that he was a little misunderestimated, and that he was actually very confident in what he has done and who he is. So let's get to some of his awesome quotes. First, is he happy no longer being president? Oh, you betcha. He says the liberation of not feeling like I've got to be in the limelight is great, and it is, in fact, liberating, as he explains. Now, this is what we've been saying about Bush for a long time. He loved that he won the presidency twice, kind of. He loved the glory of it, but he didn't want the job. He was exhausted from the job. That's why he broke every record there was on number of vacation days he took off. He's like, oh my God, I still have to do presidenting? I can't take this anymore. So he's thrilled to be an ex-president. Now, when they ask him, hey, look, don't you want to weigh in on some of these issues that are relevant today? The answer is no. Now, let me tell you the real reason why. It's because he doesn't know anything about them. He never cared about him in the first place. He just wanted to win, and he wanted to outdo his daddy. But it's not like it's Clinton. It's not keeping him up at night. Gee, I wonder what's happening with the economy or what we should do with Pakistan. He's thinking, oh, thank God I don't have to try to figure out and hurt my head again thinking about what I should do with Pakistan. So they ask him, hey, what's your field of expertise? He said, well, I don't know. And then he gives this great quote. People ask me, what about the economy? My answer is, why don't you go hire an economist? Or hire 5 economists and get 15 different opinions. That's the guy who was president for 8 years. What do you think about the economy? I don't know. Hire an economist. Jesus Christ, man, we need not a complicated question. I didn't ask you for a macroeconomic outlook. Hey, how do you think the economy's going? And you see that he breaks out in a cold sweat when you ask him a simple question like that. He's like, oh no, not again, not in the limelight when I was president. Okay, so, hey, Georgie, what do you like? He's, quote, I enjoy telling people what it's like. There's some lessons inherent in sharing the stories of the presidency. See, loves being an ex-president. Come in for a beer or an iced tea or whatever we're drinking today. Look at the rings. Oh, let me tell you the stories. You know I got Saddam's gun. My daddy couldn't get Saddam's gun. I had it. It was next to my office in the Oval Office. You know I was president? Twice. Okay. So, George, what is your legacy? You're talking about compassionate, conservative, et cetera. Well, he says, proof is in the pudding. Quote, the best way for people to understand what I meant by compassionate conservative is to look at the programs we implemented and look at the results. Well, indeed. Look at the results. Iraq war, over 100,000 civilians killed, more than 5,000 of our guys killed, about 40,000 wounded, when you include private contractors, et cetera, over $1 trillion wasted in that war, the disastrous response to Hurricane Katrina, and the list goes on and on. Just look at the results. A gigantic deficit, $1 trillion deficit he left behind when he had a $500 billion surplus handed to him by Bill Clinton. Just look at the results, and you get a sense of whether this man was a compassionate conservative or got anything done at all. And he knows it. And he knows he's an embarrassment. So when they ask him about his record, look at how telling this is. He says he's not interested in finger pointing or self-pity. Now, if you ask a successful person like Bill Gates, would he give you that answer? Would he say, oh, I'm not interested in finger pointing, I got no self-pity? No, only a person who's loaded with self-pity and realizes he's at fault says, don't point fingers. Okay, I got no self-pity. Why would Warren Buffett say that? Why would Bill Gates say that? Why would a successful president like Bill Clinton say that? They wouldn't say that. Bush says it because he's embarrassing even to himself. But he's going to pretend to be confident later. Then he says, much of my presidency was defined by things that you didn't necessarily want to have happen. Awesome. And by the way, one of those things, or two of those things, was you getting elected in the first place, or being president. And one of his great excuses, as always, is it's easy to forget what life was like when a decision was made regarding Iraq. In other words, it's not like we made the right decision, but we were in a panic, and so, I don't know, man, what happened on 9/11? Let's invade Iraq. I don't even believe that, but that's the best excuse he's got. All right. But nonetheless, he goes back to his old ways. Will Ferrell described it best when he talked about the characters that he plays, including George W. Bush. He said, what I give them is a certain unearned confidence. And here is Bush again. Quote, I'm confident decisions were made the right way. And all right, yeah. Now, he doesn't, look, even in that quote, he doesn't say it was the right decisions. He says, I'm confident the decisions were made the right way. So even he knows, but he's desperately trying to deflect and say, no, it's fine, I'm okay, I'm totally comfortable, okay? Quote, I'm comfortable with what I did. Now, again, if you're a successful person, why would you have to say, I'm comfortable with what I did? Of course you're comfortable with what you did. Bill Gates, how are you comfortable with what you did? He's like, yeah, of course I am. I'm several $billion comfortable. Okay, tens of billions of dollars comfortable. And then Bush is like, wants to drill it home. So how about yourself? Quote, I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm comfortable with who I know, Georgie, I know. Man, look, the good news is, as you can see from these quotes, it's kind of ripping him up inside. So, we thought that he'd be like, whatever, hundreds of thousands of people killed, I screwed up the whole country, and by the way, I haven't even talked about how there was a giant economic crash, and we lost 8 million jobs in that crash right before he left. I mean, it was a disaster on top of a disaster, right? But at least, even as he's trying to deflect and paint these goofy paintings over here, he realizes what a mess he was. Now, what are his pressing concerns today? Well, the Dallas Morning News explains, among his most pressing concerns was whether his hamstrings were ready for a mountain bike ride later that day. Well, okay, I see that at least he's got his priorities right. They explain that he is an avid mountain biker. He hits the trail often. He likes to play golf and attend Texas Rangers games. And as, of course, we all know now, he's taken up painting. When they asked him, hey, are people surprised that you've taken up such challenging tasks? By the way, how do you like this softball interview? Oh, you rode a bike today, Georgie? And you watched a baseball game? Why, those are challenging tasks. Do you think people are surprised by that? And Bush gives a classic Bush response. Quote, people are surprised. Of course. Some people are surprised. I can even read. And if there's one thing that Bush was right about all along, it's this.
Look. The key for me is to keep expectations low.
Indeed. Don't worry. For your presidential center, for your library, for your entire legacy and record, George W. Bush, mission accomplished. Our expectations are very low.